What's up, everyone? Oh, what is happening? Great to see everyone. As I customarily do on my live streams, there's a discount code for anything in my store for the next 24 hours, and the code is RB128. So it's the 8th of December, 12/8. It's actually a very sad day for me because this is the day that John Lennon died. 38 years ago now. It's really, really crazy. I remember what I was doing that night. I was a freshman in college, and it was a profoundly sad time. But we're here to have a good time. So I was doing a live stream yesterday with the Beato Club. The Beato Club is basically I call it artist funding or Patreon essentially, but it's our version. It's through Aaron, my assistant's Flat 5, his website, flat5.com, that you should check out, flatfiv.com. He's got other teachers up there like Nare Sol, Rhett Shull, and Daryl Gable. A lot of great stuff on Flat 5. Anyways, but that's where my Beato Club resides, and I do a weekly live stream on there. And I was talking about this yesterday. I was talking about playing melodically, but I like to put things in a structure, and I like to teach things based off current videos. And obviously one of my current videos was the Beatles video that I just did with my good friend Tim Smith. And it was actually an aside, it was great to have Tim. I hadn't seen him in years, and he doesn't live very far from me, but he's been touring so long. Man, he's been out touring for the last 20 years or so. But it was really great to have him here, and I'm going to have him, he's going to come in this week. We're going to do one of our panel discussions with Rhett and myself and Tim, which will be fun. And we will do a Jellyfish, What Makes This Song Great. So for a lot of people wrote in about that. So on my live stream yesterday, I was talking about George Harrison's solo on The End. Couple of things. First of all, the chord progression I want to talk about. It's now this what I call 2/1, or it's D major over C. So it's then he goes flat 3/1 or C minor 7, then F over C, and then back to C major. When George is playing his solo, he starts on the 3rd, and then he goes right up the arpeggio. And this note here is the 5th of that D major chord. Then he rakes up. He goes up E flat major, and then he comes right down F major. And then he plays the 3rd to the 5th of C major. There's not one note that isn't a chord tone in his solo there. That's why I said it's very much like a jazz solo, or honestly, it's like classical music. You know, it's a collection of chord tones. He's making the changes. That's why it's so melodic. He does the same thing in his something solo. All solos that are really melodic make the changes. Meaning that if you pull the chord changes away, you're still hearing the chord progression in the soloist's improvisation, either improvisation or worked out solo. So I want to talk about ways to actually practice doing this? How do you practice playing more melodically? And to play more melodically, you need to be able to connect chord tones. Now, to connect chord tones, this is before you add any non-chord tones or passing tones or anything. And that involves playing arpeggios, okay? So I wrote a C blues down here, right? But this isn't your standard C blues. If I were to play a C blues, let me tune up again here because it's drifted a bit. But if I were to play a standard C blues, you've got C for 4 bars, right? And then it goes to the 4 chord F in the 5th bar. That's kind of the definition of a blues, is any tune that goes to the 4 chord in the 5th bar. So you too played a lot of blues. So I started demonstrating. So here we are, right? So C, then F for a bar, then C for a bar, 2 bars, then we go to F major, then we go to F minor, 4 minor, C major, A major. Now here's a tricky thing here. So I did A flat major, this is a chord substitution, G major, C, E flat, A flat, B flat, C. You could go C, E flat, A flat, C, or G7 back to C. Okay? So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to change that for now. So the first time through, we'll do this. We'll put a little G major here. This is just so you can follow along. And the exercise, that could be a G or a G7. And really the exercise is to try to play, try and stay in time, and play just straight arpeggios. Try not to add any passing tones at all. If you do have to add a passing tone, sometimes I'll jump in. I'll add the 9th to the arpeggio. So you have C major. Here's the 9th. So there's the 9th. So that would be a C add 9. That's this kind of a chord. When you play that chord, that's a C add 9. Okay? So if I go like this, F, C, then F, F minor, C, A flat major, I'm sorry, A major, then A flat major, G, C, E flat, A flat, G, C. Okay, I did right there, I did G to C, and I landed on the 3rd of the C chord. Okay, now I'm going to play it in a different position of the guitar, and I'm going to call the chords out. You're going to be able to hear them, though. C, 3, 4. So here we go, 3, 4. F, C, F, F minor, C, A flat, G, C, E flat, A flat. I did G7. Right? That's okay. Now, I'm going to add some nines in here to make it a little bit easier to connect these, because you're really going all over the place. Now, there's a lot about this in the Beato book. There's I can't remember what page it's on. Beato book's 461 pages long. And I'm going to repeat the code one more time. For those of you that just tuned in, it's RB128. 20% off anything in my store. This is how I make a living. This is how I'm able to put out 5 videos a week, is by people buying my book. And this is how I, buy my book, buying my mugs. I have, for those of you that have Kempers, I have new Kemper profiles. Those are actually on flat5.com that we're putting out. We're gradually, my assistant Ken has a Kemper, and we've been profiling. I just did a video this week. We've been profiling all the amps in the studio, and there's a lot of amps here to profile, so that'll be going on for a while, but keep checking back there for those of you. Okay, so I'm going to change this chord here. Put a little substitute here. I'm going to put a D flat major here. And I'm going to show you a way to practice this stuff. D flat, because this is a nice, cool little chord substitute there. Normally on a turnaround, this is the last two bars of a blues or of any standards of turnaround. Most turnarounds are 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. Okay, now you can do alternate chord progressions for turnarounds. You can do 1, flat 3, flat 6, flat 2 to 1. You can do 1, 6, then you do a tritone sub there, down to the 5 to 1, or we'll go straight triad. Okay. Now I'm going to add put some 9s in there. So I'm going to go like this. 3, 4. Okay, so on the A7 chord there, A7, I didn't go... That B natural is not good in there. So I get... And then we're going to A flat major. So I did A flat add 9. G add 9. C, E flat, A flat, and then D flat. Oh, you know what? Actually, I want to make this a B flat because it's a little bit weirder. I think it sounds cooler, and it's even less blues. I want to make this a B flat. That's what I did yesterday, actually, because we used the D flat already there. So I'm going to go C major. So here's my progression. I'm sorry. C, E flat, A flat, B flat, C. I made a B flat 7. Okay. So let me try it again now with add 9s. 3, 4. Okay, so I'm on my D flat, or A flat, sorry. G, C, E flat, A flat, B flat, C. Really, really tricky to do this. Okay, so now I'm going to double up each note. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. 3, 4. really tricky. I'm thinking a lot to be able to do this. Okay? I'm really, really thinking hard in order to do this. The idea is to connect the chord tones though, right? So here's my C major. Okay, where's the closest note of F major to here? There it is. Sir. Then you go in and you can start to Captain Freedom, how about put more melody in your solos, Rick? Hey, Captain Freedom, how about getting lost? How's that, Captain Freedom? Are you free now? You're free now. You're free to go. You got more freedom now. So the idea here is to learn where those connecting tones are between positions, okay? So here's my C major, F major. Okay, next thing to do, like I said, is to add sevenths on these. So I'm going to make this a C7 chord here, F7, C7, so on and so forth. F7, F minor 7, C7, A7, A flat, we'll make it major 7, G7, C7, E flat 7. There we go. So I'm adding some seventh chords here. Makes it a little bit it makes it a little bit more interesting. Remember, this is an exercise to learn how to direct your melodies, okay? Okay, so here's my C7 arpeggio. So, ready? And then where do you go when you're on the fifth of F major? You go back to the root. Right? So I went up F7. And then that flat 7 goes up to the third of the C7. Then F minor 7. And then A flat major. So that is how you go between these things. Okay? So the idea when you're practicing this stuff, if you ever seen that video of Pat Metheny practicing, he just goes on and on, never stops. he tries to connect this stuff, because the stopping stuff gives your brain time to think. But what you need to do is you need to force your brain to keep going and not stop, because that's the most difficult thing to do, is to actually continue your ideas through and force your brain and your ear to keep going. Okay, let's see here. What's going on here in the thread here, Aaron? Am I changing keys for each chord or modes? Yeah, because this is you're constantly changing keys here. Now, here's another spot where you can actually add in another modulation. Okay, I can put in F sharp major here. This would be a tritone substitute. Okay, so if I were to stick to straight triads, it'd be like this. So that right there, the F sharp, is a tritone substitute that's resolving to F, okay? So if I'm going... And then we're on A flat major 7. Oh. Okay, so C7, F major, C. So I did F sharp 7. You can hear that tritone substitute. Thank you, Greg. Really, really tough to think of this stuff. Then after that, you can start getting into actually playing over these. over these changes. Make it a C7. Right? And then F7. Wow, it's so hard to think of that. A C major. Oh man, it's like a total brain. Okay, let's see what we got here in questions. Where can you find my compositions? On my 600 videos. I have a CD for sale on my website. You can buy it today for 20% off. But I probably have about, let's see, 1,000 songs I've written that are probably about 250 are on albums, some of which are platinum albums. And I probably have, well, I mean, I probably have pieces on at least 100 of my videos. No, probably more than that, probably 150 videos, something like that. Is the pentatonic scale good for solos? Of course. Of course it is. Major pentatonic and minor pentatonic. Right? There's your major or major blues. Then your minor blues, right? Of course, you can use those. You can use these both on here. What's up, Tom? Good to see you. How would you apply that playing into more rock-oriented chord progressions and now sounding completely different from the actual melody? Well, when I started here, those of you that were here at the beginning of the video, I talked about the solo from the end, the Beatles video I did yesterday, which does exactly this. He plays on the C major chord, the third, and then so he's going right up C major triad. Then he goes up to this note. Well, this note is the fifth of this D major chord there. And then he goes, that is an E flat major chord. That's the only note. He plays the major seventh. And then he goes right down F major. Then he's playing the third to the fifth of the C major chord when it comes back. So that's how you use it in context. I mean, George Harrison uses it in all his Beatles solos. I mean, pretty much every solo that's melodic. All the solos I've done on my videos, I did the solo to Kid Charlemagne, to when Larry Carlton plays that. When he's playing that lick. That lick is right in this thing. This is is right out of B flat melodic mixed sharp 11. And he plays. There's that C major triad. Great sound. Larry's the best. What's up, Shauna? How are you? What is my involvement in the Atlanta music community? Well, I did my video yesterday with Tim Smith, who's in the Atlanta music community, and has been one of my friends for 25 years. How's that? I have Rhett in my videos. I have Dave Honorato. I have Atlanta people all the time in my videos. That's what my involvement in the Atlanta music community is. China Mike, you here or what? What's up, man? Good to see you. Beato book. RB128 is the code. 20% off everything in my store. What is a good Charlie Parker lick to learn? The lick to learn is the melody to Donnelly. Start out with that. Or that. Or that. Or that. Learn it everywhere. You don't even learn, you know. That's the ending of it. That's a good lick to learn, you know. Something like that. That sounds like a good Charlie Parker lick to learn. Actually, I'm not sure if that's a Charlie Parker lick. That might be a Dizzy Gillespie lick. Let's see here. In the Fish song, The Landlady, there's a sustained note, the whole song pivots on. Are there other songs that do this? Stephen, there are thousands of songs that do that, that have that use a common note as a pivot chord or as part of a pivot chord to modulate to other keys. And how do you do that? Well, you just take any chord, and you know, if I take a G chord here, I take any note like that note B, and I can go to B major there, or I can go from G major to E major. But G major to B major sounds cool. I like that, right? Or I could go. That's cool too. F sharp minor. Right? Anything that has that note, like little miles. Brian, you find it hard to learn Donnelly melody. You just got to practice it. It's really a hard melody to play. I learned it when I was 16. That was the first jazz melody I ever learned. But you have to learn it in segments. That's the first part, okay? Or here. And then, let's see. Let's see. So that's the second part. So, let's see. That's the next part. But I learned, stop there. So those are 3 segments. That's how you learn it. Is you just gradually get through it by finding the positions, and just you got to memorize it. There's no shortcuts to these things. These Charlie Parker melodies are incredibly difficult to play. Yeah, pretty much all of them. I mean, you know. That one, Billy's Bounce, was probably the easiest one. I'm trying to think. What are there some other ones? There's almost no easy Charlie Parker melodies. There. Now's the Time is probably the easiest one. Let's see here. Okay, any other questions? You can leave them in the Blues for Alice is a you know, Blues for Alice is a pretty easy melody too. But Donnelly, that's a good one, especially because the chords are good to learn how to solo over. Chord progression is really, really hard to do. You know, that's to play Donna Lee, there's a lot of chords in it. Really, really a lot of chords in it, you know, and then the comp. Let's see. That B flat B diminished. It's hard comping all this stuff. You got to know where all those voicings are. A flat major, F7, then a B flat. It's hard if you don't play it, if you don't play all the time. Jazz playing is just random chords. Guess what, bro? You're just a random person, Wade. Sorry. How do you like that? Wade. Okay. That's all for today. I've got a new video coming out tomorrow. You guys are the best. Check out the Check out my Beatles video if you haven't. Feel free to share it on Reddit. That always helps out a lot. What's up, Subi? Good to see you. How many guitars do I have, and what are they for playing? Let's see here. I did a little band hammer. I don't even make my band hammer sound anymore. Can I recommend a good luthier in Atlanta? Dave Honorato, who's on my videos a lot. He does all my guitar work. You guys are the best. China Mike, Tom, everybody, Nick. Good to see everyone. I will catch up with you guys later. Thank you so much.